Hello, we are here at 2000 Trees Festival yet again, 2023.
Yeah.
And we have a list of bands that we've chatted to.
Yeah, it's another hot one as well.
It is a hot one out here.
It's apparently guaranteed Trees is a hot one.
And it did not disappoint.
No,
it's been good vibes all day. We've spoken to some great bands.
Fortunately, we've not been able to catch many bands. The only band we probably caught with it
Heriot.
were Heriot. Yeah.
Heriot.
And they were fucking sick.
Yeah, it was good.
But enough of that. Here's the episode.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Hello and welcome back to an Earful podcast. We are at 2000 Trees 2023 and we are joined by Nate from Microwave. How's it going, man?
How's it going?
So good. How are you?
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a toasty one today.
It is. I wasn't expecting it to be so cold or so warm. It was cold last night when we were at our hotel.
Yeah.
Hotel in Cheltenham.
Yeah. Like apparently like every single day this like for this festival this year it's been like a different type of weather every single day and like this is like the hot one.
Yeah, I bet it gets cold at night still.
Yeah.
It's been fluctuating. Yeah.
This is such like a British like conversation to start with. Like,
The weather.
What's the daily bun?
So is this your first day here then? Yeah. The festival.
No, we did some dates with Can't Swim. We played 6 shows.
Yeah.
So we've been here for about a week or so.
Awesome. Yeah. I was the tour then with Can't Swim.
It was awesome. Yeah, no, the shows were all sold out, but a couple that were all but sold out and everything, and it was fun, real fun, good vibes at the shows.
Yeah.
For sure, our best UK tour, or like, especially for like a headline tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any favourite spots in the UK that you could pick out of the tour?
The show in London that we played at Underworld, I guess Motley Crue had just played a few days before.
That was fucking
Yeah,
So that was pretty cool, and that
Yeah.
was a really fun one, just a high energy one. Glasgow, we played at King Tut's,
Yes.
which is a really cool venue, and it was cool to see all the bands that had played there in the past. I think
Yeah.
Oasis was signed there and stuff.
Right.
But the promoter was telling us stories, and we were like, it was just cool. But all the bands that have played there, it's like surprising. It's like Modest Mouse in the Darkness and
It's crazy.
Block Party, and
There's a lot of history with like a lot of the venues in the UK as well. Like you said, with like Oasis, there's loads of bands like you said going back to like Joy Division and all those sort of people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But,
They're from Manchester, is that right?
Yeah,
I think
we're-
Joy Division,
yeah.
Northerners.
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's
cool.
like I feel like it's like a right of way to tick off like certain like iconic venues like King Tut's, Underworld and stuff like that. It's just like, but when you get there, like you can't help like because they're so like traditional. You're like, oh wow, like you're finally playing this place. It feels like a bucket list place to play.
Yeah.
So you guys you're on in a couple hours as well, aren't you?
Sorry?
I said you're on in a couple hours as well today.
On in a couple hours, yeah. I think we play around 4:20 at the 2000 Trees, so that's gonna be pretty lit,
Yeah, man.
So is this your first time at Trees as well yourselves? Playing Trees?
First time, being in attendance or playing, It's
Awesome.
been really fun, been really cool so far. Yeah. I hadn't really even heard much about the lineup and everything. I mean, besides this year or whatever, in the past I haven't. I hadn't heard much about it in the States and everything, except Can't Swim had played a couple times, so I had heard from them. They were like, "Oh, you got 2000 Trees offer? That's sick! Like you're gonna have a good time."
I saw you guys are playing a couple like really like big festivals over in the US as well towards the end of the year.
we're playing.
Is it Riot Fest?
Yeah, we're playing Riot Fest
Riot
for the third time.
Yeah.
Where it's always one of our favorite sick festival.
The lineup for that looks pretty good. Like you've got The Cure for one. You've got
Death
Cab for Cutie, Postal Service.
Postal Service.
Yeah.
They always have the most ridiculous lineups.
Yeah.
Of like it feels like someone just went to my
Yeah.
Spotify or something and made like a weekly playlist or something.
That's what we always say. Like American like festivals are apart from like obviously Download and that and obviously Trees get good lineups, but you always get like mega lineups over there in the US.
Yeah.
So, like, the When We Were Young festival, for example.
That didn't seem to be an attention.
No, that is a ridiculous one. That one's over there. I think the one of the last or the last time we played Riot Fest, we stayed on the day after we played, and I watched the Village People
No way.
Refused.
Oh, man.
Hey King Back Sunday played their first 2 records in their entirety. And then I watched Wu-Tang Clan and then Slayer.
That's insane. That's
I was like, what?
Village people to Slayer. Like,
there's other people that listen to the exact same music as me. Yeah.
It's like literally someone's got your Spotify
insane one.
and just like shook it over.
Yeah.
So you released your new single back in March.
Ferrari.
Which was awesome.
Thank you.
And obviously that's following up to your album that you released back in, was it 2019?
That's we put out 3 new songs in the last year or so.
Yeah.
And then they'll be on a future release that we're just like, taking our sweet time with.
Yeah, man.
Go with the flow.
I think that is in part like the lyrical theme of Ferrari is almost referring to the process.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because it was a grind and a burnout after the last record, going straight into the pandemic right when the record came out and everything.
Oh wow!
And then not knowing if it was ever really going to come back. The live music in general. We're like, is this we're for sure not a essential business. I know that much.
Yeah.
So we'll be the last to reopen our business activities.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, like being on the opposite end of it now, like seeing like places like this absolutely thriving is just so good to see.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It seems like it's come back. Like after the pandemic, this whole realm of music seems to be larger than it ever was.
Yeah.
Which has been a lot of our the last year for us, we've had like a lot of growth and everything. A lot of it having to do even with just like past music and everything. Like
I feel like the music scene's thriving more than ever now, especially after the pandemic, because everyone missed it so much, and like you took it for granted sort of before that, and now like you know how much you missed it over the pandemic and everything. Everyone's just making the most of it they can, and like everyone's enjoying themselves. So
absolutely.
I even feel like the local scenes have changed now, where it used to be like, you'd ask your friends to come, you might get like a collection of them to turn up or something like that, and now it's like everyone comes to gigs and stuff like that. Like we're back to that kind of like thriving like local scene gigs actually.
It's definitely thriving more than ever.
Yeah.
There's definitely seems to be like a whole fresh new base. There seems to be like, people from the next generation, younger and everything, that have gotten involved from like a different angle via TikTok and stuff, maybe with the other bands that have popped up on TikTok. Like I think it's always great whenever any band has like starts to in our realm starts to trend on TikTok. It's like it helps everybody all together. Like I know Hooper Heaven right now has been like popping up on TikTok and everything, and it's just like hell yeah, that's it. everyone rises up together when because people are like, you like that band that you heard of, maybe you like these other bands or whatever, and it's super happy about that.
That's a good thing with them like sort of platforms, especially TikTok as well. A lot of bands are like thriving off like using TikTok and sort of pushing the music that way as well nowadays, which is obviously compared to having to like push it through your records and all that sort of stuff. Social media's become a massive part in that sort of building that fan base and getting music out there as well.
I don't even know. It's all like voodoo to me. I feel like if you try to make it happen on social media, then it's cringe or whatever.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
If you try too hard, then
you just gotta cross your fingers and you know, put your best foot forward. Try to think of little bits, little funny punchlines or whatever. Dances. I don't know how to invent those dances, but I hope someone makes one for us,
Let it be the trend of it.
The microwave.
What would the microwave dance be?
Just touch buttons.
A very small wave.
Let's get it going.
Just slowly rotate.
TikTok, let's go. Yeah.
So we have a recurring question that we ask all guests that we speak to, and it is, what is your pet peeve? It could be the most minimal thing. It could be slow walkers. It could be how people eat. So, but what is your pet peeve?
That's a good question. I've always had a thing for. I've always hated wind when it's really windy and your shit is blowing off and everything, and then you're like holding something and you have to like try to pick it up, and then you drop all your stuff, and then it goes like flying across the sidewalk, and you like chase it 100 feet.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
That's a new one. So
that's a hard
one. It's like when you're out and you've got like it's raining, you got your hood up, and it's really this gust of wind comes, and your hood comes off. You're like, oh god, no.
Yeah, no, that's a pet peeve for sure.
Nice.
That's the main one that's coming to mind.
Yeah. Like I said, that's a new one for us. So yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. But thanks a lot for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for
having you on. Enjoy your set.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome back to an Earful podcast. We are here at 2000 Trees 2023, and we are joined by the Ian from Raptors. The Ian.
The Ian, the only one.
Ian. How's it going, man? You okay? It's great to see
Really
you.
good. Hot. It's very hot. It's like on the run up to Trees this year, everyone was like, oh no, the weather's going to be so bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be so bad. And I packed so much long stuff.
Oh no.
Long jeans and long sleeve stuff because I was like, oh no, the weather's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's always boiling here. I don't know why I listen to the internet. But no, it's fantastic. Just excited
I went
to be
off
here.
the word of Matt when we were at Outbreak. He was like, it's going to be hot at Trees. It always is. And I was like,
Always.
good enough for me. Okay.
Always. It's always hot. But yeah. How are you guys?
We're good, man. Are you interviewing us?
We can switch it up. Just have a chat.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, man.
Here for the day, which is
Here
nice.
for the day. Very good.
Yeah. How was your set that you have just
Come
played?
off.
Yeah.
We keep calling it our reverse headline set
Okay.
because we opened up the stage. But it's like the reverse headline. I keep saying, it's really, really nice of Canterbats to reverse open for us.
I like
But, it's all about perception, really.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But no, it was absolutely fantastic, and being on so early, we don't care. Like
You
we
get to
just
enjoy the festival,
we're just happy to be here every time. So it's just like, we had a really good reception. Luckily, people got a little bit. Got into it.
Yeah.
And we had some
You're
hits and
curing
stuff.
hangovers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So everyone was. We got a nice big circle pit on the go.
Nice.
So that was good for the morning.
Love it.
Good.
Can't complain.
Morning cardio.
So,
Hey, a little bit of morning cardio, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. Like we're all on a little bit of an adrenaline come down right now.
Love
it's
that.
just like it's so hot.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we're all so hyped, and now it's like, oh god, now what?
The crash later is going to be like...
Yeah, a little
Big
bit of a
vent.
crash. The trick is to just keep drinking, and you're fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Water.
Ian's top tips.
So I remember last year that you were saying that like Trees was one of like the go-to festivals that you guys wanted to play, and you'd nag your manager like when you started speaking to him, and you just sent him emoji of Trees.
Yes, trees.
How does it feel like coming back to it now?
It's an honour because that's something that Trees do really, really well. They're not afraid of like rebooking bands, especially especially the staple ones of the festival. For many years before we even played Trees, it was always like some of the same bands were always there, and there are Trees classic. Bands like the St. Pierre Snake Invasion and stuff like that, who are from Bristol.
Yeah.
That they play almost every year, and it's amazing to see and to be welcomed in by 2000 Trees into what feels like. I know we're only on our second year.
Yeah.
That kind of family. It's great.
That's one of those things that the festival does that makes it feel like, we're home. This is home away from home.
It's like an annual thing. It's like Thrill Collins, for example. Like they play every year.
Yeah.
It's always an after party thing. I can't wait to see them again. And it's just like it's one of those things where everyone's so buzzed for like Thrill Collins' set. It's always going to be amazing, like every year, and it's just like that, the annual pilgrimage. To Trees.
So last year we spoke.
Yes.
Released an album.
Yes.
Living Without Death's Permission.
Yes, we did.
How's it feel like reflecting back on the whole year post album?
Good. Like it was really well received, and we're really happy with the with the love that we got from the album.
Yeah.
And we've been touring and playing shows and festivals and stuff since, and it's always nice to go back to it and just listen back, because it was a huge part of our lives at the time, and we'd been through so much in our personal lives around the time of the release and previously, even when writing the actual album. So it's lovely to go back on it and still play these songs and have a good reaction, because people are still discovering it now.
Yeah.
You know, so even like today, you know, I saw people down the front singing the words back, and it just means the absolute world.
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
love that.
It's you know, if you win over 2 people in the crowd today out of however many was in that tent,
That's a plus.
It's still a plus.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic. But yeah, really
Love
good.
it.
Like, it's been really good. And yeah, we just released a new single as well.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that. Yeah.
I'll let you ask the question.
No, go on. Go on. Yeah, don't let me interrupt your
Ian,
flow.
you guys released
So
a new
Ian,
single,
you released a new single. How was that?
Did you? I didn't know.
Funny enough, yeah.
You've never mentioned it, you know.
Just now I mentioned it. Yeah, so basically we had so much music for the album. Unfortunately, we couldn't fit them all on.
Yeah.
And
It's a nice situation
so
to be in.
yeah, so the label were just like,
Oh
"Look,
no,
let's
it's too much money.
oh no. They were just like, let's just, you know, bash it out as a single.
Yeah.
And we got another single coming out in September as well.
Oh, okay.
Which is, may or may not be an exclusive. Depends if the other boys have said it on any other interviews this weekend or
Right,
not.
we'll put this out straight away.
There's another. You know, and that one's my absolute favourite Raptor song we've ever written.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
So
Big
you know,
hype
it's just good. Like,
Yeah.
it feels good to keep releasing music and just
Yeah.
you know. And you know, the label has been really good with that. You know, constant releases is how you keep
Amazing. Yeah.
fresh. And it's really good.
And you personally have been non-stop because you've also been organising a festival.
I have. Yes.
How the
It
fuck
looks
did that
sick.
come about? Yeah.
So Misery Loves Company, yeah. Because back in the day, I ran a festival called Fat Lip Fest, 2 years running back in 2017, 2018, and it's along the same lines, basically.
Yeah.
Multi-venue festival in the centre of Bristol. And I feel like it's something that we've been missing in the southwest, especially in Bristol, because it's such a good market.
Yeah.
And you know, the scene in Bristol welcomed me with like open arms when I first moved to Bristol, and you know, I've built my own personal career DJing, promoting, doing club nights, alternative events, like for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And now is a chance, you know, for me to really give back to the scene by giving them something that we can grow into something special, because you know, we've got Twin Atlantic, Yonica co-headlining, which is amazing.
It's impressive.
You know, the Excerpts, the Hara, In Me.
Raptors.
Yeah, I may or may not have booked my own band for my own festival.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? Why not?
Of course we're opening up the main stage, obviously.
Oh no, how did that
Oh
happen?
no, how did that happen? But no, yeah, it's a chance for us to give some opportunities to some of the local bands as well.
Yeah.
Because especially some, like, I do feel like Bristol sometimes gets overlooked in the grand scheme of things. So a lot of the time it's hard for bands, like local bands, around our area to play with some of these bigger acts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So especially these larger touring UK acts and even like American ones, you know, it's a chance for them to say, look, we played this with all of these other bands, and you know, it's a chance for them to get a new audience as well.
And half the time, you know, it's those small bands getting like, holy shit, look who we're playing alongside. That's the motivation for them to carry on sometimes. So that's huge.
Yeah. And it's the type of shows that always like stay with you. Like I know from our previous experience and like as a recent, like when you play them shows, are they like, holy shit, that's a band that I was listening to when I was in college. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, it's a real chance for them to be inspired and them to be, you know, play to a new crowd, you know, and which is always really difficult when you're in a small local band, because you're always just ending up playing to, you know, your mates and your family, or you know, which is all well and good, but to truly grow as a band, you've got to play in front of those new audiences, and now we've given, you know, the bands in Bristol a chance to do so.
It's amazing.
Something else I'm really proud about as well. We basically we managed to get the lineup 50% with female and non-binary and transgender members included in the lineup, which is something I'm really proud of that we managed to do, because it's important. Because,
very important.
you know, it's some of the bigger festivals and stuff. There's no quick fix getting those bands to a bigger level where they're challenging for those headline slots.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I feel like it's on us putting on these smaller events to build
Provide
up
that.
those bands to get them to a level where they can compete.
Yeah.
There's no immediate fix, and that's always really important to know. But what we can do at like my level with Misery Loves Company is basically give them a platform and make sure that we continue to do so and allow them to grow and challenge for the headline slots at festivals like Trees and Download and Slam Dunk. So it's important. Yeah, it's
amazing.
But no, but seriously, hats off to you. Like in terms of like championing like local scene and stuff like that, it's like a really commendable thing because really in UK you don't see it that much because it's kind of similar to in Manchester. Like there'll be people that fight for the local scene.
Absolutely.
It's very much like there's a lot of T's and C's that come with that, as
of course
would expect.
Absolutely.
So like you doing this stuff is just really commendable. So
thank you. Yeah, it's like I said, it's something for me to say thank you to the local scene of Bristol. For welcoming me in and giving me a platform and letting me use that platform to do some good. Basically.
And what are the dates on the festival?
So it's the 30th of September, Saturday the 30th of September. Tickets are available now.
Yeah,
obviously.
Great. Amazing lineup.
5 stages worth of amazing music. Go check out the lineup. Really proud of it. Some fantastic bands on there. And and also something you can pay in 3.
Ooh.
That's always good. Everyone's skin, we know that, but you can pay in 3 by PayPal.
Huge
on there as well, which is always nice. Paying in installments. Everyone's skint these days, aren't they?
Yeah, I feel that.
Absolutely.
One thing we're asking everyone, same question. What was the first album you ever bought?
It's gonna be good.
I'm racking my brains.
You can be honest.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's Busted's first album.
Oh, that's a good.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
Good one.
Yeah.
That was on repeat for many years and still is.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the re-recorded versions now?
Yeah, I think they're really good.
They're cool.
I think they're really good. I love the Meet You There one with Neck Deep. I think that one's fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Hanson cover that they've just released is absolutely amazing. Have you heard that? It's a Busted and Hanson re-releasing Bop.
Okay.
But Busted was my first one. My first love.
Do you want to know what size was?
Say again?
Do you want to know what size was from Heads Above the Waves?
Oh, go on.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al.
That's a
Simon.
That's a crazy one. But
Simon. That's also something about the festival. You're speaking about Cy from Heads Above the Waves.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
We're partnered with Heads Above the Waves for the festival as well. So
Brilliant.
we're going to have them along. They're a fantastic charity. And it must be, it's important.
Yeah, massive.
Have them on board.
I love that extra care to it, the details of even Heads Above the Waves being there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's wicked. They're lovely people and they do fantastic work.
They do.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps it for us. We'll let you get back to drinking and recovering from the high.
For a split second, I thought you said that about Raptors for us.
Yeah.
Sorry
about Raptors.
Sorry. We can redo that. Yeah. That about Raptors it for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you guys. So
we'll get you to enjoy the festival.
And thank you. Cheers, guys.
Welcome back to an Earful podcast. We're here at 2000 Trees. And we're joined by Stephen of Lost Alone.
How's it going, man?
How's it going?
It's really good, thank you. Just come off stage into my tracksuit. I'm very hot. But it was awesome to play a show. I love this festival, so it was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
You was over on the main stage, was it?
Yeah. It was really good fun. I've not played the main stage here before, and it was just lovely to just be on that stage. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So have you been here all weekend, or is it your first day?
No, we came in this morning, did press here this morning, did the show, and I think we're out of here quite quick actually today. Which is a shame because I love it here.
Yeah. There is something special about 2000 Trees. We've been saying to everyone else, it's not a way to pinpoint what exactly it is, but I feel like it's just something that is really charming about 2000 Trees.
yeah, it definitely feels friendly, and it definitely feels music. It sounds silly, but some festivals don't feel like they're music orientated, and I find that here people are definitely here for music. Which is fantastic.
So you released your newest single, The Final Call for Forever, last week, which is following up from last year's album as well. And am I right in saying that you debuted it live for the first time here as well?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was so nice for me because I weirdly it's a prequel to a different song of mine.
I saw something about this. I
messed up on stage because I can't get the titles right because they're quite similar. But I just I was on a cruise ship to New York just before the pandemic, and I got the band back together. Like, everything feels possible when you're either in the sky, or I just suddenly was like, because we had like a hiatus, and I was like getting the band back together. And when I got to shore, Ray and Gerard from My Chem had left me a message saying, "Do you want to support us in stadium?" So I was like, "That's perfect," because I've just got the band back together. So we got the band back together, made a record, and then when I did this new song, I wanted to. I was thinking about, you probably read this in the press release, but I wanted to think about George Lucas and how he made the prequels to Star Wars. Like kind of 20 years after they came out, and he had all the fan theory and the baggage of life to change what he probably would have done originally. So I was like, I'd really like to write a song very close to the point in which I wrote the other one as a prequel and get that same vibe. So yeah, that's the story of the song, and it's just great because it's such a brilliant moment in my life to get my band back together that I'd missed, and then to have that experience is awesome. I try to just recreate that same moment. I'll probably write a prequel to this one next.
Amazing. So are you quite into your films then? Like, obviously, drawing that influence?
Lost Alone in Elvish from Lord of the Rings on my middle finger. And I got Home Alone movie on my thumb.
Amazing.
I love Christmas. I love Home Alone. My band's called Lost Alone. It's from Home Alone. No one ever gets that. Like, at least it's from Home Alone.
Do you know what? It makes a change because a lot of bands are all like Halloween and like dark.
Yeah, I live for I like Christmas and I like musicals and I write massive riffs. It doesn't really make sense, but that's where my inspiration comes from, definitely.
So what I say about Home Alone then is like something about that film.
Something. I mean, I love Christmas anyway, but I think something very magical about. I mean, I try and describe it, but I don't even know if I can. Maybe it hit me at a certain point, but it feels safe, and maybe when I was young, it felt like it could be me. And I feel things quite intensely. Like, for example, recently I watched the Elton John movie. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Now, some people are watching it as a cool film. When Bernie Taupin hands him the lyrics to your song in the over breakfast, and he starts writing it, right, I can't not cry. It hits me at I have that. I'm getting it now. So music means everything to me, and like when incredible moment, the same as when a movie can do that. Like, I feel proud of people I don't know. Like when you watch a film, you're like, I can't. So it's quite Home Alone hit me like that quite hard. I don't know why. They did.
Yeah, I know. I get what you mean with the Rocket Man as well, though. It's when he makes the comeback towards the end and he's playing like I'm Still Standing.
Incredible.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And did you see the Glassdoor set then?
Yeah, it was amazing. I was lucky enough. I saw that on John 3 times in the last couple of years, and I saw him at Hyde Park in London.
Right.
The Glastonbury set was just that guy knows how to like 100%. Do a headline set as well.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I caught him in Liverpool probably a couple of years back as well, and like you said, like. He's still got it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm gutted that he's obviously like leaving it be for a bit now, but it's.
But I think there's something gracious in that though, like the fact that he's gone like, right, I'm going to stop now before it deteriorates or I don't enjoy it anymore. 100%. Like there's something graceful about that.
Yeah, I always think that about the band REM, who they are like were at the peak, a massive band, and they just went, we've not fallen out, we're not splitting up because we like each other. We're just like. Yeah, we think we're done, and we want to leave our legacy.
Yeah.
And I also heard that Coldplay are going to do that. They've said that they're going to do a certain amount of albums, and I think they've got 2 more albums. And they're like, we'll still be a touring act, but we don't think we'll be good enough to keep doing albums in our 50s. So we want to
keeping your own integrity.
Leave a. I think that's really cool.
Bit of a tangent from Coldplay, but it's similar with him.
Yeah.
Like him just kind of went, right, that's it. And it was like,
leaves a perfect legacy. If you're into,
and he keeps it intact.
Leaves a legacy. Yeah, totally. I like that a lot.
So going back to it, obviously you're saying you jumped on that Mike M tour. I was there. I was at the Warrington show as well.
Oh, we didn't do that one.
Yeah.
I wish we had have.
But the comeback shows were like,
it's pretty cool.
Awesome. How was it to be part of that as well?
Like? It was awesome, man. I mean, we've been like friends for a long time because we they were into my band's first record a lot, and took us out on tour, Danger Days tour we did, and we did a tail end of the Black Parade. So we've been friends for years. I've been out to LA, and because I write songs for the people as my day job.
Okay.
Not for Mike M, but I've wrote with Ray and stuff. But so it was just cool to be. Well, I was saying a minute ago about being proud. I was just proud of them, even though our shows were awesome with them. But to have that level of that kind of music, the music we love, like punk rock, to be playing stadiums, it just felt incredible. And it was pretty cool for us to be able to announce our comeback with, oh hi, we're back. New single, new album. Oh, we're doing stadium shows with Mike M.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Really
and by the way, Mike M.
Yeah, it was a cool day.
And you've got a massive tour coming up as well with McFly, haven't you, at the end of this year? Which
that's going to be cool. I co-wrote their new record, which is how that's come about. Because I don't think we'd have ever. 2 years ago, there's a guy called Jason Perry, who's from A, and he's a producer. He always liked Lost Alone. He called me up and said, do you fancy coming down to write with McFly? I was like, yeah. I thought they were like a pop band. And I got down, and it was like amazing studio. They just gave me a Marshall stack and a guitar and went, let's riff. And I co-wrote 7 of the songs on the record, just went to number 2. And then obviously we made really good friends, and we have a writing team together now. We write for other artists. Just very organic. And they were like, do you guys want to jump on a tour? And I was like, yeah. I love the fact my band could do Mike M and they could do McFly.
That's.
And I honestly think both of them will work. I think I can. I hope anyway.
So was it like, obviously when you're writing for other people, what is it like separating that from you've got your own mindset of writing your own music, knowing what you want to go for? Is it trying to take yourself out of that?
It's totally liberating, and I now kind of joke that I write for me at night and other people in the day, and I really enjoy inserting myself into another artist or band's world. I think a lot of songwriting in London is you go into a small room with a computer, and the songwriter tells you what you're going to do. That's not me. What I like to do is there's 3 people actually here who I've wrote with who are playing, and I like to get in their world, almost because I'm from a band. I like to go, what is it you want? By no means, I think some people think songwriting is you go, they can't write songs, so you write it. It's not like that. I think it is in some super pop stuff, but my experience is you're working with amazing writers and artists who have said, hey, it might be cool to get that guy's flavour and vibe to complement theirs and to push them in a... And I think some people get snobbish about it, but Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, all their big hits in the late 80s are all co-writes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I think it's really interesting. And for me, I never thought I'd feel like this because I write everything in Lost Alone, but I feel really, when the McFly record came out, I was I felt part of it. I felt proud of it.
Absolutely,
it's just a whole different thing for me, but I really, really enjoy it.
Is there anyone who you, obviously living at the moment, who you'd love to collaborate with?
Oh, I mean, Brian May and Roger Taylor from Queen. Queen. I've got my Queen 2.
Oh, nice.
My tracksuit, which is basically covered my arm in fluff. I went to Brian May's guitar's 50th birthday, which was the greatest night of my life. I don't know if you know, he built his guitar with his father in the 50s, 60s. And that's the guitar. It's out of a 100-year-old fireplace. It's made from just garbage, and it's the guitar he used on every Queen record ever, apart from Crazy Little Thing Called Love. It was made to use a Telecaster, but so he had a birthday party for his guitar, and I got invited to it. And he sat as close as that camera and played Bohemian Rhapsody in my face. Anyway, if I could work with Brian May, I would say for Queen, that would be a dream of mine.
Holy shit.
Real dream.
That would be very surreal, just watching Brian May it
was awesome.
That right there.
It was a weird, his party was kind of it was a party, but also it was to celebrate his guitar. So he did I thought it was 30 people, like a members club in London.
Right,
and he just sat down and told us about his entire life, and then played solos in your face from massive songs. And you just
what?
It's actually on YouTube, the whole thing. You can see the back of my head at the front just going.
Jaw dropping.
Yeah, search like Brian May guitar birthday or something, it'll come up.
Oh my
It
god.
was amazing.
There was a funny story that Robin and Adele told us. Like they used to have Queen fan clubs like back in the day, and it was just after Freddie Mercury passed away, and a couple of people we know they was at this like fan club event, and Robin, the guy, was up dancing on the dance floor, and he was just dancing with this other fella who was on there, and he came back to the table, and his missus turned around and went, "Do you know who that is?" And he was like, "No." He's like, "That's Freddie Mercury's boyfriend." It was
Jim
like,
Hutton.
No fucking way.
Jim Hutton. I just so you know, guys, I am ninja level Queen knowledge.
Yeah.
That'll be Jim Hutton.
Yeah.
R.I.P. He actually died of cancer, not AIDS as well. Jim
man.
Hutton. He was one of those guys that had AIDS. We're going a bit crazy now, guys. Sorry. He was one of those people that had AIDS, but it didn't affect him, and then he died from smoking, like 30 years after Freddie.
What on earth?
Anyway, we went a bit.
We took it to bit.
Diseases, so apologies.
No, it's fine. It's what podcasts are for.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. So when can we expect new music anyway? What's on the
So
horizon?
I've got like about 3 or 4 singles ready to go. Like the first one last week, and just gonna be singles all this year.
Okay.
Definitely a couple more before the tour,
Yeah.
and then hopefully like a new album next year.
Awesome.
My problem is not writing. Like if economically I could release an album a month, I would do that. Like that'd be my dream. All of our albums we've released have been whittled down from like 100 songs. So
Yeah.
it's very much like it's more the mechanics around stuff that ends up. Maybe being told you can't release an album a month. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, lots of new music and that big tour. Then I just want to do this till I die now. Like
Yes, mate.
I love
Yes.
doing music. I love touring. I love playing. I love doing this. I love everything about it.
Yeah. So we'll ask you one final question
Sure.
then before we wrap it up. So we've been asking it to a lot of the other guys who we've interviewed today. What was the first album that you ever bought?
That I personally bought.
Yep.
Personally,
Not that I was bought. Myself and Mark from my band have been friends since we were 11, and when we got to about 12, we already had a lot of our parents really into music and played and stuff.
Yeah.
But we loved vinyl at like 12. We were like into vinyl.
Yeah.
There was record fairs that would come through Derby to the cricket ground once a month every Sunday.
Right.
Once a Sunday.
Okay.
Once a month on a Sunday.
Right.
A record fair. And you'd go and like a Queen. You'd look at. This was before Spotify or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you didn't. It was a real magical time where you could love a band, but you didn't know the album you bought. You had no idea.
Yeah.
Especially with a band like Queen, I want to start collecting. You didn't know if you're buying a heavy metal record, their early stuff, or like a super pop thing. So I think I went to a record fair, and I think it was this record I got tattooed, Queen 2.
Yeah.
So their second record. Still my favourite record of all time. It's like a kind of prog rock masterpiece. And that's the one, and I still have that copy. It's a vinyl Queen 2. That's my first.
You still got the copy that you bought as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it was like 25 years old when I bought it.
Yeah.
But it was it was the original copy from 1974, yeah.
That's awesome, that one.
So I now have a very big Queen collection because I just didn't stop.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's incredible.
But yeah, that was the first one.
That's
Awesome.
amazing.
Anyway, thanks a lot for coming on. We
Thank
appreciate
you very
it.
much. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
Stephen,
guys.
been a
Thanks
pleasure.
a lot.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to an Earful podcast. We are at 2000 Trees 2023 and we are joined by Charlie and Jamie from As Everything Unfolds. How's it going, guys? You okay?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Oh, this is the first interview where I don't have to go like this.
I know, yeah. Mike's on this one.
It's very
Now,
exciting.
it's been a while since we last had you on the podcast. It's been a minute. You've had a new album since then. Congrats.
Thank
How's
you.
it gone? How's the reception been?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Like, it's been just surreal. I think, releasing a sophomore album, I think is scarier than doing a debut album.
It's always the hardest one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think people kind of, your first album, you get a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, we don't know what we're doing. Oh, we're new. We don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas sophomore, you're sort of like, oh, can't use that excuse anymore. So.
Especially, I think, because our debut did better than we expected.
Oh, yeah.
So then we
Yeah.
were like, oh, the pressure's fucking on.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gone well. People are really liking the stuff, and yeah, we got some really good tours coming up, and so everything's just sort of good.
So speaking of upcoming tours, you got Electric Callboy.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
very exciting.
Pretty fucking.
Yeah,
It looks like it's all sold out as well.
yeah, they are. I think it's just Portsmouth that hasn't sold.
Sorry, out Portsmouth.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, it's like Portsmouth, I was like, that's a very rogue place, but fair enough. George is very excited because he graduated in that hall.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I get to play on the stage.
Full circle moment.
Do it again!
Yeah, it was funny. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. And then the month before that, we've also got a headline tour as well.
Yeah,
so,
amazing.
Yeah, very busy.
That must be cool though, doing the headline tour like for the album.
Yeah, because we didn't really get to do it on the first album because of when it was released. You know, we did one show, like the London show, which ironically was in the middle of us recording our second album.
Yeah.
Like we literally came up from Folkestone, played the show, and then went back to Folkestone to carry on recording again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's nice to actually do a proper tour. We're planning the set list and planning some big, trying to make our live show sort of like, our production and stuff up in the game a little bit. So it's exciting.
So playing obviously shows where you've got an entire new body of work, obviously it must be quite hard to kind of like navigate when you got to like detach like a normal set list like from the first album to having to decide what gets the cut, what doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's quite like we find it quite easy, to be honest. I think it's quite like clear what.
Are you at that point where it's like, I'm sick of that song now?
Yeah, and I think like we can tell quite easily what tracks are fans, like vibes, so we'll just stick them all in the set list kind of thing.
Of course,
Yeah, because there are even songs like on our debut that were singles that actually don't get as much response as like an album track that now does. Because I think people have had a chance to listen to it now.
Yeah,
so they're sort of like, oh, okay, well we know. I know that one from ages ago, but actually this one's more exciting. And it's, so we like to mix it up. We do
because we had that with Let Me Go, didn't we?
Yeah,
we
that's
were like,
kind of what I was referencing.
We didn't really feel like it was like gonna translate that well live, and then we just stuck it in the set one day, and people absolutely loved it. So we were like, that's a staple now.
Yeah.
Like even though it's sort of like a deep cut from the first album, it's kind of
That's what some people like. It resonates with some people though when you play those like deep cuts. I think they like it because obviously you get the usual songs that you'll play over and over again. But when you like the proper fans and that, when they hear you play that sort of stuff, it's like give me more.
And they see it as like that once in a lifetime moment where it's kind of like, oh, they don't usually play this. Like, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's it. I think for headline shows, like especially on that tour, we'll get to play some deep cuts that like we wouldn't ever normally play. We'll get the opportunity to play because when you're playing like festivals and support slots, you're playing the songs that are going to be the most popular and the ones that the most people will likely enjoy.
It's nice for fans that have seen us like a couple of times as well, because then they get to like experience something new.
Yeah, definitely.
So going into, obviously, with the second album, like aside from like all the work that's gone into the actual writing album, like aesthetically, you've got the Purple era. Was there much thought into that? Was there like a reason for that, or was it just like?
That's a Charlie question.
Start?
Yeah, go on. You take this one.
So I did a degree in photography, where I did a lot of darkroom practice. My creative process kind of moved away from digital, and I started really liking like the whole, shooting on film, processing the film, printing my own images. And I kind of was like, I've always wanted to like merge my two passions, and I've never really been able to fully do it. Like I've always done all the creative like directing and for what we've done, and come up with the ideas and stuff. But I was like, I'd really love to like conceptually merge it all. Because all my work is always very conceptual anyway, like my artist work. And I was like, I'm just fascinated by the idea that like, so in a dark room, to expose like color images, you have to expose through ultraviolet light. So to see life in full color, you have to expose through ultraviolet light. So I was like, oh, okay, that's a really cool like concept for an album, because it kind of just ties in with like lyrical content and stuff like that. So the album and the purple just kind of was like, obviously the ultraviolet spectrum is like invisible. We won't go into that, but like the idea of the purple just kind of gave us something to like focus on and give us a nice little branding sort of thing. And I'm very into all that stuff. So.
I'm not going to spiral into a conversation about photography because I'm a wedding photographer, so I'm like, I'm just going to stay away from that.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about that.
That's fine.
I know nothing about like commercial photography. So
like stepping into like film and that, like I've just started, and it's like, oh no, it's not as easy as
it's
like,
daunting, but
the camera. So
yeah. It's cool though. It's cool.
It's sick.
All that translates through onto your music videos and everything like that, because they're awesome.
Yeah, the music video for Ultraviolet, we actually shot light through a prism and split the spectrum onto our eyes. That's not a post-processing. We actually got a light and put a prism in a tripod. Took fucking forever. And we got it, so it was like the spectrum was split across our eyes. So I do think, I'm glad you've asked, because I think a lot of people it's not as obvious. So I think a lot of people don't think that it's all kind of connected.
Oh, that's sick. That's awesome.
So as you said, is this something that you're going to try and translate over to your live shows as well, and with the whole theming?
I think we've sort of thought about trying to do something that's not cheesy. Because you just sort of like, some things can be like, a bit cheesy.
Yeah, we've had a load.
Sorry, there is a parrot and what?
A what?
There's a
parrot. I saw that before.
Sorry, I'm so confused. Is that Ben?
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Sorry, we also know him and he's got a parrot, so I'm very confused right now.
Is it his parrot?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did tell me what the parrot's name was. But it was like Doris or something like that.
Do we podcast the parrot?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
It would be interesting. Sorry.
So, we're at 2,000 trees. How does it feel to be at 2,000 trees this year?
Yeah.
Sick. We've never been before.
Awesome.
Yeah, and loving it so far. It's just really fucking hot.
So warm.
Yeah.
But like we were saying to other artists we've spoken to today, like there's something so niche about this. It's kind of like cozy, but it's not.
Yeah. I like the sort of like country vibes that it's got with like the hay and everything. Like it's very homely.
Yeah, it's kind of like because our first festival was the Download Pilot. And it kind of gives me like similar vibes where it was like smaller and like, but still good vibes and good bands, whatever. So it's nice. So and this is our first time here, so it's a new experience for us. But everybody's always said to us that it's one of their favourites.
That must have been wild playing Download Pilot.
Yeah,
because it was like a sought after thing in the first place. But to be on like that small list,
it was such a unique energy that like hasn't been captured since then.
Because it was technically still in the pandemic.
Yeah, it was.
So everyone was sort of a bit like, oh, should we hug? Should we not? And some people obviously weren't comfortable doing things. And
there was just like an excitement that was like palpable because obviously no one had been outside for fucking ages. And to be like one of the first bands to bring back festivals was unreal.
I imagine pits were weird.
I don't remember. To be honest, I don't remember playing it. But
I'm just trying to imagine the concept of like a no-touch pit where everyone's just like
like pencil diving all around. I wish I could say I remember it, but I don't, and not because I was drunk. I think the show before that we played was to like 30 people in our hometown, and then that was the next show we played.
No.
So I was so terrified that I don't remember it. Like my memory is just
it's just trauma.
So I don't know whether I was good or not, or what happened. So
it was just a blur.
I think it was good though.
You were there.
I was there. That's what counts.
But I remember watching Shikari, and the energy there was like incredible.
And then you went on to support him.
Yeah, I was going to say, how was that tour?
So cool.
Nice.
Yeah, we did support them in May last year, and then we supported them in when was it? February this year? When did we support?
This year?
One of them.
April. It was in April.
One of them,
Yeah, because then we went to Europe with Callion in May.
Yes, we did, So very surreal because they were.
Did you grow up with Shikari?
Oh, yeah. Big time. I mean, I saw them for the first time live in like 2010.
Yeah.
So when I was like,
it's like Common Dread's era.
Yeah. So I've been like a massive fan. So it's like really hard to try and not let on. That you're it's very hard.
And because they're from like near us as well, like they're kind of like local heroes in it, and it's like
So
it's a very exciting moment.
The live show game is like next level.
It's incredible.
The lasers
was
are
real.
Yeah, it's when Keith's like, everyone leave the room, the lasers are being tested, and we all have to leave the room. It's like quite funny.
Keith's a legend. Yeah.
Right, so we probably asked you, so just to wrap it up now, we probably asked you this question last time, so we'll not ask you the pet peeves one because I think we did that last time, but we'll ask you a new one. What was the first album that you ever bought?
Oh, I know this.
Go on, then.
Do you know yours?
Well, I didn't actually buy my first album. I found it at a dump, and it was The Long Road by Nickelback.
Nice, yeah. Well, one of my first albums was All the Right Reasons, but yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's cool. Like you just found it in like
like,
this is my.
I went down to the tip.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I went down to the tip with my dad, who was getting rid of some stuff, and like I was just like browsing. Yeah. And like they had like these big containers full of like old broken TVs and like DVDs and just electrical stuff. And I just found this CD and I was like, that looks cool. Let's take it home.
Yeah. So you never heard of Nickelback before? Like, you just saw the CD.
Well, I don't know. I was maybe like 8 or something.
I love the irony of that you found it in like a dump and it was Nickelback.
It was the era when people were throwing away Nickelback CDs. You know what I mean?
Give me them back.
Yeah.
Not even good enough for CEX. Just straight to the tip.
One man's rubbish is another man's gold.
Oh yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was hooked ever since.
Do you still have that CD?
Yeah.
From the dump?
Yeah, from the dump. Yeah, I've still got it.
Amazing.
That's an Always Sunny in Philadelphia vibe to it. You found it in the trash.
Yeah, you're coming home with me.
It was so, What was mine? I remember going to buy my first album, but I had to take my dad with me because I couldn't buy it because it obviously had explicit, and it was American Idiot.
Nice.
Yeah, because my dad kind of, I was brought up on like a mix of music, but my dad was kind of at that point was quite into like that kind of thing. And I was like, obviously, always listen to it, and I'd always watch Kerrang and all that kind of stuff. I think it was 2004, American Idiot was. So I was fucking young, and I was like, I really want this album. My dad was like, all right. I mean, he quite liked it. He was like, it was kind of like a joint purchase. But other than that, the first album that I bought, I wanted to buy off my own, like sort of. The band I found myself was My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade, which are my favourite band of all time. So yeah. Quite cool. Yours is a better story, though.
I think the first one I actually bought was Scream Aim Fire by Bullet.
Nice.
So very gassed to see that later.
I remember buying that album, and I was convinced because my mum fucking hated it that she skimmed it. And then about 15 years later, when I was moving out and getting like my own place or whatever, I found it in this random bag.
Oh, no.
And I've been blaming my mum for like 15 years. I was like, you skimmed my CDs, but you didn't like.
She's like, I won't have this devil worship in my house.
Be gone. I was going to say, you could have picked it up at the gym.
Jamie's like, I found this my Valentine's CD at the dump.
That's where I got all my CDs.
This is gold.
Yeah, fucking stick at the dump over it.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for chatting with us.
No, thank you.
And enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Cheers, lads. Thank you.
All right, we're back at 2000 Trees with Julian and E from Heriot. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for sitting down with us again.
Thanks for having us, mate.
We got to chat to you last year, and what a year you've had.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's gone so quick.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we really haven't had time to like digest it. It's just busy, constant. But hey, man, this is always what we've wanted, so I'm not complaining.
Well, we luckily one of the few bands we got to catch a set for.
Yeah, actually, probably one of the only bands we caught today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a
it's
quick walk down to main stage, and you guys were on, so like sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
cheers.
But like hearing you talk about, last year being on the Cave to now main stage. How does that feel?
Mate, mental. Like it was packed at the Cave when we played, and I was like wicked, and I was like, hopefully we can come back, and hopefully we can maybe play later on the Cave or maybe the Axiom, and then we got the offer of main stage. We were like, is that a bit like out of our depth? But mate, it was cool. I mean, we've seen some of our favourite bands on there. I saw Turnstile last year.
Yeah.
Like, the sun was setting, and they played Glow in Full, and to be playing the same stage is pretty mental, to be honest. So
bands that sound like us get to play the main stage.
Yeah.
absolutely.
One thing I love about Heriot is the brutal punch to the face of the sound, but then also beautifully soundscape and ethereal in places. How's that balance for you? Is that like a challenge that you face, or is it just feels right when writing?
Yeah, I mean, we never go into writing to have it a specific way or have sections sound a certain way. It's just whatever feels right, and it's kind of just worked out that way. And I guess in a way, having the slower parts and the quiet parts does make it hit harder and sound heavier when it comes back in. It's nice to have that dynamic, and Deb's wicked for that. In terms of her vocals, that allows us a bit of breath to be able to do that as well.
Our music's pretty intense. I think if it was just full on, like a barrage, it would be too much. So having those kind of little respites, I guess, it is good. I think they're needed.
You released a demo back in, was it February as well? What have you got coming up next then? What's on the horizon?
So music-wise, we are working on an album. We think we've written most of it, to be honest. So end of the year, once all the kind of shows and festivals are out of the way, we're just going to crack down and try get it done. That's our challenge. It's always mad, just it's not ready yet, and it's mad just thinking just how much time we have to dedicate to it. But what we've got already, we're really happy with. So that's next steps really.
So do you always a little taster just to carry us over?
Yeah.
Just a standalone thing, like just to put something out. It was in time for the European run, wasn't it? I think, or the end of that run. So just a little thing, just standalone single.
Yeah. So you guys have been busy as well, like you said, on tours and that. You've got ones coming up in Europe as well.
Yes, we've got. We've got Architects shows in a few weeks, which is sick. Yeah,
It's nuts.
it's pretty mental. They're like, I think they are the biggest shows we've played.
Yeah, by a long shot.
So I mean, one of them. I mean, we get to play with like 3 bands we've always wanted to. While She Sleeps. So it's us, While She Sleeps, Architects on one. And then on the last one is us, Sleep Token Architects.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
That's sick.
So kind of not trying to think about it too much. I keep saying like end of July is happening. I'm like, that's literally in 2 weeks. So man, we're just gonna hit it head on like we always do. But yeah, that's gonna be a wicked
Great
experience.
attitude to have towards it. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
mate. What else can you do?
Well, yeah.
So
I love it.
that's it.
Are there any acts here at Trees that you've been looking forward to catching?
Pale Dusk. I saw Wicked.
Float to Serve,
yeah. Kublai Khan.
Nice.
American Football.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, I saw them at Art Tangent 2016, and it's like the only set I've like cried at. I can't wait to do it again. Like 7 beers. Yeah, 7 beers deep. Crying over some strangers. Yeah. That's it. Julia came with me last time, and I literally just ended up just arms around people I didn't know, crying. But it was good. So I can't do that again.
Yeah, that's great.
But Bullet tonight will be fun. We got a lot.
Yeah. Oh
That'd
yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
Bullet as well.
Yeah.
Nostalgic.
Of course.
That's it. I remember watching him on the Poison like anniversary tour like a few years. That was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah,
just
wicked.
hearing that all back again. Have you been here all weekend then, or have you just been here?
Yeah, we have been. We love Trees. I probably can say for the rest of the guys, I think it is our favourite festival. Like it's so wicked. It's you can get end to end 20-minute walk, like if that, which is amazing for my legs because I get tired easy. All the bands are diverse and it's close to home. Like where we've been, like drove to Poland and it was like 15-hour drive. This is like half hour to Swindon. And it's like we might as well. Like there's so many mates here, so many cool bands we want to see. So no brainer.
And it always feels like it's like the perfect size to feel like, oh, I'm back. This is perfect. It never gets way too big. It's
And you just get to see some big bands play like small stages, which is sick.
But then you've also got like the regulars here as well that are like, oh, I'm at Trees, of course.
This is my 10th year at Trees.
Oh, really?
So like, I was going to be here regardless of if we were playing this year. Like, so
the decade of Trees.
Yeah, it's been good, man. Like, I literally love this festival so much.
I love that.
I was saying it's like a very like, it just feels like a little like community like of people like Download's always got that like great vibe. But as you were saying with the walking distance, like I had a nightmare this year. Like Download, try, especially with it being sold out, trying to get from like main stage maybe over to like the Dogtooth stage or something like that. Fuck me. That was a trek. It was like Lord of the Rings. You could have made a fucking film out of it.
Legit, I think we played last year and we were in the guest camping, and that was still probably further than like the site to even get into the arena. And I went and we went to pick up my girlfriend, and she literally was like, kid you not, like a 40-minute walk.
Yeah, it's insane,
and like,
isn't it?
we could hear Korn playing, and we were like, we were like, we need to go back now. And then like
insult to injury right there.
I ran so fast.
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, Trees is wicked for how small it is.
Yeah.
It never changes. Touch wood.
Yeah.
It never does. It's perfect, mate. I love it.
So, I mean, while we're on it, how was your set? We loved what we saw, but how was it for you guys?
It was unreal, man. I don't think it could have gone any better, really. It was nuts.
It was proper surreal. Like I said, we've seen some of our favourite bands on there.
Yeah.
And to be standing, looking out, it was just a bit mad. I mean, it was the same when, because we saw Turnstile in the Cave when they first came.
That's got to be crazy.
And again, when we went out on that stage, I was like, oh, this is proper weird. The other side of the barrier, and that was the same, mate. The sun was behind the stage, so the stage was shaded. Just good, man. Just good vibes.
Everyone was well up for it. Everyone was moshing straight away, which is sick. Like, so it was still kind of early, I guess. Like 1 o'clock is still fairly early. So to see like it boot off that much is.
Yeah, it's good to see movement when it feels like, oh, this is a bit early.
Yeah.
It's nice to also like take those step back Like you all clearly have, and go, wow, we were at the Cave last year and now main stage. So I mean, credit to you, because not a lot of people reflect on that. So
we're like very aware how like privileged that opportunity is. So yeah, we are blown away that we got the offer, and blown away that's happened. So
smashed it out of the park.
Thank you.
We are asking all guests a question. What was the first album you ever bought?
I know yours.
So it was So Solid Crew, 21 Seconds.
Good shit.
What would you want? Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
okay.
That's the honest.
By bought, you I mean like go to the shop and buy it with your own money, right?
Yeah.
So I think mine was Panic at the Disco's first record.
Nice.
Or Infinity on High, Fall Out Boy. It was either of those records. I think, like, same kind of time. It was
nice.
one of those.
Yeah. So to add some context, I got into metal a lot later than he did. I got into alternative music. I was listening to like 50 Cent, Window Shopper, and
There's nothing wrong
nothing
with
wrong
UK
with it.
Garage.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It's fine. It is iconic for what it is.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be laughed at.
No. But I think everyone has a little laugh at the first record they bought, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, that wraps it up for us. So
Nice one.
thanks for taking the time.
No,
Cheers,
thank
guys.
you guys. Thank you.
We're back at 2000 Trees and we're joined by Eric. Hello, how are we doing?
Doing good.
How's the festival experience been for you?
It's been great. This is our first UK festival appearance, so we like kind of didn't know what to expect coming into it, but it's been amazing. Played a bit earlier, so we're like, okay, hopefully there are people there.
Yeah.
And people there was for sure. It was a great time.
Amazing.
It was packed. Had a good pit going, and a lot of people singing along. So surpassed all of our expectations for sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So you was on
sorry,
the Cave.
I'm just mindful. I didn't even say the band. I just said we're joined by Eric. Just jumped in.
Eric from Heart Attack, man.
Sorry.
Eric from Heart
Live
Attack,
in the
man.
flesh.
Yeah.
So you played at the Cave. So what's your experience been with 2000 Trees so far? Then, have you enjoyed? Have you explored much?
Really? We got here and then played like not too long after.
Right.
So after that, it was like right after we played, I caught the tail end of Origami Angel's set.
Nice.
They were great. Then I saw Pale Dusk, insane, love that band. And then right after that, saw Military Gun. So it's been a very good day so far. After that, kind of came over here and got ready to start doing some press stuff. But yeah, it's been a great day. So no complaints. I'm really excited to see rival schools.
Nice.
Awesome. So is this, you obviously mentioned this is your first UK festival appearance. Is this the first time you've been in the UK? Have you done previous tours?
No, we've been here before. A little over a year ago, we did a tour supporting state champs.
Amazing.
So that was a really, really good first time coming over here. And from there we're just like really looking forward to getting back here. And when we got the offer for the festival, obviously we jumped all over it, and then we're like, all right, where do we go from here? Like, let's make the most of while we're over here. Let's do like a proper UK run.
Yeah, you've got dates after this, haven't you?
We got
this is the beginning.
We got a day off tomorrow, but then we got 6 shows after that. So
How are you spending your day off? That's the most important question.
We're going to Birmingham actually.
Nice. Okay.
So we're gonna go there, figure it out. I don't know.
No, it'll be good.
You're going checking out all like the Black Sabbath stuff.
So Black Sabbath bridge last year, yeah. So that was like the first thing we did.
Yeah.
So we did that. So I don't know what we're getting into this time, but we'll figure it out.
Are there any new places on the tour where you've never been?
To be honest, I like when we're on tour, I don't look at where we're going.
Okay.
That's fair, yeah.
So I forget where all we're going on this.
It's a surprise every day for you.
It is. I like to fly by the seat of my pants. For the longest time, just a little insight into the kind of guy I am. I had the weather app deleted off my phone.
Okay.
Because I was just, being in Cleveland, it's depressing a lot of times. But I was like, you know what? I don't need this weather app. I'm just, if I want to know what it's like, I'm just going to go outside and see.
Amazing.
It's a good outlook.
Sometimes, it would bite me in the ass when I would go out, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I would dress for like a normal day, and then it would start pouring rain.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I like surprises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surprises are the spice of life to me. So, on tour, I'll look at it at the beginning, but I kind of forget where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm just like, here we are.
I get that. Enjoying the experience. That's what
Here
it
we
is.
are. Yeah, I get there and then I'm like, okay, now I just need to remember the name of the city so I don't say the wrong city.
Yeah.
When we're on
Okay,
stage.
that's fair.
So I've done that before. I've said the wrong cities
Lesson
before.
learned.
I've said the wrong bands.
Yeah.
I've never
We're
claimed
human,
to be
it's
a
okay.
professional.
Yeah, it happens.
No, I'm not a professional.
We should say congratulations on the album release,
Thank
Freak
you.
of Nature.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
How is
How's
it
the-
to play the shows? Play the songs even?
It's awesome.
Sorry.
When we were recording it, I was, my favorite part about being in a band is being in the studio. Like, I love going on tour. It's really fun. It's awesome playing shows, connecting with fans and everything. Like, obviously that is all very awesome. But at the end of the day, being in the studio is where I thrive. It's my favorite
I get
place
that.
to be. It's like, really for me, COVID was a huge eye opener for that. Because obviously when live music went away, we still went in the studio. We worked on our last EP, Thoughts and Prayers. And for me, that was a really eye-opening experience. I was like, well, if live music never comes back, I would surely be bummed about it. But this is where it's at for me. This is where I find the most fulfillment of being able to bring these ideas to life and hear these ideas that were in my head properly fleshed out and everything.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if I can do that, if I can record and release music, then I'm all good. So
I think people are either prefer live or prefer studio.
Yeah.
And as long as you know which one you are.
Oh, for sure.
It's
But yeah, that's the thing is laying down these new songs and everything. I'm like, all right, cool. Go crazy in the studio, all that. And then when it was all said and done, I'm like, man, I'm really happy with how this sounds. And then as I was listening, I'm like, God damn it! I have to sing this now. There's some high notes. I'm like, what am I doing?
That's the thing, because you over go for it, and then you're like,
I'm like,
oh, I need to actually do.
I didn't factor that in.
How does this replicate live?
Yeah.
So that's the thing is as we started rehearsing and everything and getting into it, I'm like, I had originally brought it up to the guys. I'm like, guys, some of these notes are crazy. There is a very real possibility that I might request to have us shift a half step down or something, because you got to maintain, you got to have it.
Yeah, of course.
You got to be able to do it on tour and be able to consistently do it. So I'm like, I hate to say it, but we might have to make that suggestion. But fortunately, as we started rehearsing it, I feel like I've grown as a vocalist where I'm like, oh no, I can act, I hit him on recording, and really it's just about maintaining that stamina for me.
Yeah, of course.
I work out, do cardio, all that, and I've just learned how to sing better, and just singing more sustainably where I'm able to do what I do, using less energy, straining my voice less.
Yeah.
If we were doing this last year, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I wouldn't be able to talk right now. I've grown a lot. I've been able to maintain my vocal health, all that.
Yeah.
So that plays into it for sure. But yeah, being able to hit those high notes now, it's actually easier than I anticipated. But there was that initial panic after we started getting mixes of the record back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck, what did I do to myself?
I guess that's an awesome thing though with the release of the album. It's obviously proof of how you've grown as a musician. It's always a cool thought with like you mentioned, just getting your ideas out and it's recorded. It's like a time capsule essentially of what you were as a musician at that point.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would not have been able to do any of this 4 years ago. I feel like it's all been very gradual. And growing into where we're at now, and it's very fulfilling, honestly, very gratifying, because that's been the sort of the MO of our band is baby steps, building that momentum and growing into what we're doing and adjusting. Because I feel like there are plenty of bands that skyrocket overnight, blow up. They can't maintain it. They crash and burn, and we've seen it plenty of times over the years. But thankfully for us, everything's been kind of gradual, and we've been able to adjust and been able to grow.
It's a good outlook to have on it. In terms of being in the studio, what was the writing process like for you, especially for this new album?
So for this new album, actually, one thing that was distinctly different and new about it this time around was that this was the first time that we ever messed around with the idea of doing co-writes with other songwriters and everything. Which sometimes can be the death knell. It's oh no, they're getting other writers in, this is bad. Sometimes it can be disastrous. because there's just too much going on, too many ideas, and it's a band growing into something that they never would have became before. And it's like I feel like for us, it was a really healthy process where it was like it was never like anyone coming into the mix where they're like, oh, here's a song that I wrote for you, play it. It's like, no, it was a lot of people that kind of, like, not even a lot, but like a small group of select people that we collaborated with, where it's like, okay, it was more so coaching the ideas that we already had and that we were already working on, to where it's like helping the songs be the best they can be and helping develop them a little bit more. So it's just getting some valuable outside perspectives in the room and in the mix. So like really that was like the shining piece for us for this whole process this time around, was like this was the first time that we started experimenting with that, and I think it was a huge success for us. It was really eye-opening, really it reinvigorated a lot of, I mean, I feel very fortunate that each step of the way with this band feels like we're just getting started. Yeah. So like that definitely was like a new beginning for us. We're like, oh damn, this changes this whole dynamic in a very fun and positive way that spurs a new type of creative energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Go on.
Sometimes that collaboration is scary because sometimes the ideas we create are so precious, and then you see someone take them in a completely different direction. Sometimes it's hard to fight against that, but it's good that the process was.
It's been nice,
smooth.
It hasn't been a fighting process.
Yeah.
It's been kind of like approaching it like, oh, you know what? Normally, I in the past have approached a lot of things with Heart Attack, man. Like both hands on the wheel, white knuckling my way through it, and just be like, all right, this every hit for hit planned out meticulously. But this time, it's like, you know what? Like approach it a little more loosely. Approach it, one hand on the wheel. Be open to more collaboration. Yeah. And like just be at peace with that, knowing what we want going into it. It's like it's very satisfying. That's very, very genuinely awesome and fulfilling process to be able to create in this type of way.
Yeah, absolutely. So. That fresh perspective, as you said, I think sometimes it's just crucial because it takes you out of it to see the full picture of it. Because sometimes when you're so like into the writing process, you just kind of get too immersed into it.
The forest from the 2000 trees,
of, like the same things. Oh, I have like my tricks. I'm like, okay, this is like I played this note, I'm gonna go here next.
Yeah, because this is what works and feels.
Yeah, like
right,
feels right. It's like the sort of like fingerprint on how I write songs. But like it's awesome to be able to be like spurred outside of that a little bit. It's like, why do you want to do that? I'm like, because I always do it. It's like, okay, well, why don't you try this? I'm like, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic. Wrapping it up, we have like 2 questions we've been asking every artist. Yeah. So the first one is pet peeves. What pisses you off the most?
Could be as minimal as like possible, like slow walkers. It could be like anything.
Oh man, like that's really tough.
Would you like the other question?
I'll think about it a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, stew on that one, and we'll give you the other one.
The other one is, what was the first record you ever bought?
First record I ever bought? Led Zeppelin's Greatest Hits.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Fantastic, yeah.
Pretty basic answer, but
that's a good answer, though.
Classics.
I think people either have really good answers or very embarrassing ones.
Yeah. No, mine's like,
yours is a good one, yeah.
Mine's a pretty base level, acceptable.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a B.
Yeah, it's like a solid answer. Sure. Yeah, they stole all those riffs, but whatever. Pet peeves. Coming back to that. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe not my biggest pet peeve ever, but something that I can think of off the top of my head that's like mildly irritating to me is as a frontman when rolling up to a venue and like I like to mix it up where it's like, okay, I do some songs just holding the mic and just doing that, and then some I will have on the stand.
Yeah.
Big pet peeve of mine, we roll up to a venue, they don't have a straight stand. Like they have the boom stands.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm not going to use this like a straight stand. And then I see artists using boom stand like a straight stand. They're holding it like that. I'm like, that just looks weird. It's off. It's like, I guess. So I guess that's my.
Our band, our singer has this same issue. So he's got to the point now where he'll bring his own stand because he can't.
I gotta just start doing that and not setting myself up to be annoyed.
Yeah, reduce the resistance.
Yeah, I'm like, I say something that annoys me. It's completely within my control. You're like, what annoys you? I'm like, well, let me tell you a thing or two about mic stands.
True.
Not good enough.
I guess that's. I guess that's my answer. I don't know.
Answer, yeah.
Surely,
we've never had it before.
There's so many things in this world that annoy the ever living fuck out of me, and that you know what? I'm having such a good time here at 2,000 Trees that I can't think about all the bad shit that annoys me. That I have to think about something super mild and minuscule that mildly annoys me. You know, I can't be bothered. I'm feeling on top of the world right now. So
you'll get back home after this tour and you'll sit down and you'll have a moment to yourself and just go, fuck, that's good.
I'll go into the van later. I'll shut the door. I'm like, you know what? I thought about this. And I'm like, this fucking annoys me.
Chase that card and I've got one.
Wait a second. I thought of it. It came to me. No, I guess that's my answer for now.
No, I think that's good.
You know, maybe we can cycle back another time.
Okay.
And we can just talk about the things that annoy me. You know, we can just
talk
about
the sequel. Yeah. We can do the sequel.
You know what? I've been really stewing on this one. You know, and I've got a laundry list of things that piss me the fuck off right now. So
it's been a year.
Yeah. Here it is. I whip out a scroll that goes down to the floor. But yeah, I guess that's my answer.
We'll let you get back and enjoy the festival, the more positive festival. Yeah,
we're all friends here. We're all having a great time. Absolutely. I can't be bothered here.
Yeah, so we'll let you get back to it and then enjoy the rest of your UK tour, which people should definitely be at.
Yes, absolutely.
If you're not there, I'll kill you. Thanks.
That's a good good threat.
On that note, thank you very much.
Thanks for your time. Thanks, man.
Okay, that was an Earful podcast at 2000. Let's try again.
Oh yeah. Excellent.
That was an Earful podcast at 2000 Trees 2023. I hope you enjoyed all them charts. We did. It's been a great day. Yeah, been good.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, it was sick. 2000 Trees 2024.
That's the one.
If you like anything that you've seen, obviously check out previous episodes. Check out the bands. Links are all down below.
Thanks
we'll
for
see
your
you next
time.
time.
Yeah. Bye.